Fasting for 90 days is a significant commitment. It requires discipline, planning, and a willingness to make real changes in your daily life. But what happens when, after all that effort, you look at the scale and see little to no change? It's a frustrating scenario, and for many, it can feel like a mystery. If you've been fasting for 3 months and haven't lost weight, you're not alone. And there are reasons why this happens, rooted in both the science of metabolism and the realities of modern life. Let's start by looking at the fundamentals of fasting and weight loss. The principle behind most fasting protocols is simple. Restrict the window in which you eat so you consume fewer calories, prompting your body to use stored energy, fat, for fuel. Whether it's intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting, or extended fasting, the goal is usually the same, but the reality is more complex. One of the most common reasons people experience no weight loss after a prolonged period of fasting is caloric intake. Fasting doesn't guarantee a calorie deficit. If, during your eating windows, you consume more calories than your body needs, weight loss will stall or not happen at all. It's easy to fall into the trap of rewarding yourself after a fasting period with larger or more calorie-dense meals. Sometimes, without realizing it, you might eat enough during your feeding window to offset the potential calorie deficit created by fasting. This is especially true if you find yourself gravitating toward highly processed foods, sugary treats, or large portions. Recent research highlights another layer: metabolic adaptation. When the body is subjected to prolonged calorie restriction, such as during extended fasting, it can respond by lowering your metabolic rate. Essentially, your body becomes more efficient at using energy and starts burning fewer calories at rest. This adaptation is a survival mechanism, a way for your body to conserve energy during times of perceived scarcity. If your metabolism has slowed due to weeks or months of restricted eating, you might find that your weight plateaus or doesn't change, even though you're fasting. Hormones play a critical role in this process. Fasting impacts hormones that regulate hunger, fat storage, and metabolism, such as insulin, cortisol, leptin, and ghrelin. Insulin levels typically drop during fasting, which should promote fat burning. However, if stress levels are high, cortisol, the stress hormone, can rise. Elevated cortisol can signal the body to hold on to fat stores, particularly around the belly, and increase appetite, especially for comfort foods. Chronic stress can therefore sabotage your weight loss efforts, even if your fasting protocol is on point. It's also important to consider the quality of your diet during eating windows. If your meals are heavy in processed foods, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats, your body may have a harder time shedding pounds. Recent guidance from nutrition experts underscores the importance of eating whole, nutrient-dense foods, such as lean proteins, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. These foods are not only more filling, but they provide the micronutrients your body needs to function optimally and support a healthy metabolism. Physical activity is another crucial factor. While fasting can help regulate calorie intake, combining it with regular exercise, especially strength training, can make a significant difference. Exercise helps preserve muscle mass, which is important because muscle tissue burns more calories than fat, even at rest. By incorporating strength training and aerobic activity into your routine, you can boost your metabolic rate, support fat loss, and prevent the loss of lean body mass that sometimes accompanies prolonged calorie restriction. Let's break down these factors further, drawing on the latest advice and research to help you troubleshoot your fasting journey. First, monitor your actual caloric intake. Many people underestimate the number of calories they consume, especially when eating out or choosing packaged foods. Consider tracking your meals for a week, noting portion sizes and ingredients. Use a reliable calorie tracking app to get a realistic sense of how much you're eating. If you find that your intake matches or exceeds your daily energy needs, adjust your portions or swap out calorie-dense foods for lighter, more nutritious options. Second, pay attention to the timing and quality of your meals. The temptation to indulge in large, high-calorie meals after fasting is understandable, but it can undermine your progress. Instead, plan balanced meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats. These nutrients help keep you full and satisfied, making it easier to stay within your calorie goals. Consider breaking your fast with something light and nutritious, such as a salad with lean chicken or a bowl of vegetable soup, before moving on to more substantial fare. Third, address metabolic adaptation. If you suspect your metabolism has slowed, there are steps you can take. Cycling your calorie intake, having higher calorie days interspersed with lower ones, can help prevent the body from adapting too strongly to a calorie deficit. Additionally, increasing your physical activity, especially strength training, can help maintain and build muscle mass, which supports a higher metabolic rate. Even small changes like walking more or using stairs instead of elevators can add up over time. Fourth, manage stress. Chronic stress can impact your weight loss journey in subtle but significant ways. Elevated cortisol levels not only promote fat storage, but can also increase cravings for sugary and fatty foods. Incorporate stress reduction techniques into your daily routine. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, yoga, or even spending time in nature can help lower cortisol and support a healthier, more balanced approach to fasting and weight loss. Fifth, reassess your overall health. Sometimes underlying health conditions or hormonal imbalances can make weight loss difficult despite fasting. Thyroid disorders, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, and insulin resistance are just a few examples. If you've been diligent with your fasting protocol and haven't seen results, consider discussing your situation with a healthcare provider. A simple blood test can check for common issues and help guide your next steps. Sixth, consider the role of sleep. Poor sleep can disrupt the hormones that regulate hunger and appetite, such as leptin and ghrelin. When you're sleep deprived, you're more likely to crave high-calorie foods and eat more than you intend. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night and create a bedtime routine that helps you wind down and prepare for restful sleep. Seventh, be patient and realistic. Weight loss is not always linear. It's common to experience periods where the scale doesn't move, even though your body is changing in other ways. You might lose inches from your waist, gain muscle, or notice improvements in your energy and mood. Focus on these non-scale victories and remember that sustainable weight loss takes time. Let's touch on some specifics from recent findings. According to Healthline.com, up to 20 common reasons can account for stalled weight loss, including hidden calories in beverages, inaccurate portion sizes, and medical conditions. The Times of India recently emphasized that hitting a weight loss plateau during intermittent fasting is often due to invisible sources of calories, lack of physical activity, or the body's natural adaptation to a lower intake. Quanta Fitness recently reported that fasting can fail when stress is unmanaged or when diet quality slips during feeding windows. Their advice: focus on whole foods, monitor stress levels, and don't neglect exercise. These factors have become increasingly important as more people try fasting in combination with sedentary lifestyles or high-stress work environments. To summarize, if you've been fasting for 90 days and haven't lost weight, consider these action steps. 1. Track your calorie intake carefully, including snacks and beverages. 2. Prioritize nutrient-dense whole foods during your eating windows. 3. Incorporate regular physical activity with a focus on strength training. 4. Manage stress through mindfulness, relaxation, and regular self-care. 5. Ensure adequate sleep each night to support hormonal balance. 6. Cycle your calorie intake or change your fasting protocol if you suspect metabolic adaptation. 7. Consult with a healthcare provider to rule out underlying medical conditions if progress remains stalled. Remember, fasting is a tool, not a magic solution. Its effectiveness depends on a constellation of factors: what you eat, how much, your activity level, your stress, your sleep, and your overall health. For some, tweaking these variables can restart progress and help break through a plateau. For others, it may be necessary to rethink the approach entirely, perhaps shifting to a more balanced calorie-controlled diet or trying a different fasting protocol. The journey to sustainable weight loss is unique for everyone. It's normal to encounter setbacks or plateaus along the way. What matters most is your willingness to adapt, learn, and persist. By focusing on the latest research and expert advice, monitoring calories, improving diet quality, building muscle, and managing stress, you can maximize your chances of success and turn your fasting journey into a positive, lasting transformation. If you're feeling discouraged, remember, the body is complex and weight is just one measure of health. Celebrate the discipline and commitment you've shown, and use these insights to refine your approach. With time, patience, and a holistic strategy, you can overcome the challenges and achieve your goals.